Good morning, all of you. Myself, Rajesh Das, Assistant Professor, School of Pharmacy, the Newton University. Today, I am going to present one interesting topic that is the under the B Pharmacist semester antihyperlipidemic drug, or it is also known as hypercholesterolemia. My lecture are divided into three parts. One is definition all the concern topic, classification of the drugs, and mechanism action of each and every drugs. Hyperlipidemia, abnormally elevated level of lipid in blood. This lipid can adhere to the wall of the arteries and restricted blood flow, which creates significant risks of heart attack and stroke. So, lipid is take a major role in the hyperlipidemia, and these lipid are three types in our blood. One is cholesterol, triglyceride, and phospholipid. Cholesterol, which is necessary for the synthesis of the bile, triglyceride, which is provide the energy to the cell, and phospholipid, which is a major component of the cell membrane. In product, lipid is produced in the liver. From liver, lipids are not able to move to bloodstream because they are insoluble in the blood plasma. So, liver wrap protein around the lipid, resulting in new molecule called lipoprotein. This lipoprotein moves to bloodstream throughout the body. So, in our blood, there is a three type of lipoprotein. One is very low density lipid. It is also known as VLDL. Low density lipid, it is known as VL LDL, and the high density lipoprotein, it is known as the high density HDL. Very low density lipid, it is also known as VLDL, and it is composed of the low level of protein and high level of cholesterol in the triglyceride. In our picture, it is already given the protein part is less if I compare to the cholesterol and the triglycerol. Now come to the point, the low density lipoprotein. It is composed only the protein and the cholesterol. It is known as the bad cholesterol. If you go for the picture, the protein is less with compared to the cholesterol. Now come to the point is the HDL. It is composed of more amount of protein and the less amount of cholesterol, and it is also known as goose cholesterol because if you go for the picture, the protein part is more if you compare to the cholesterol and triglyceride. Now come to the point. First, liver release the VLDL in the bloodstream. VLDL produce the triglyceride to the various cell for function. After utilization of the triglyceride, VLDL become it is converted to the LDL, which is contain only the protein and cholesterol. This LDL provide the cholesterol to the various cell which requires. In our If our body make too much LDL in will deposit to the cell wall and artery, causing the fat material called plugs. Due to this narrowing the blood vessel, thereby reduce the blood flow. That's why they are called the bad cholesterol, and narrowing the blood vessel, it is called the arteriosclerosis, and it is cause of the heart attack, stroke, and the hypertension. Liver also make HDL, high density lipid, that remove the excess amount of cholesterol from the cell and the plug and return the excess cholesterol to the liver. That's why they are called the good cholesterol. Now, classification of the drugs. There is the five number of class of drug in antihyperlipidemic drug. Is one is the HMG coenzyme reductase inhibitor, fibric acid derivative, niacin by nicotinic acid derivatives, bile acid subsequent, and cholesterol absorption inhibitors. These are the classification and example of each class. Now come to the point, mechanism of action of HMG coenzyme reductase inhibitor. In our liver cell, coenzyme A converted to the mevalonic acid with help of HMG coenzyme A reductase enzyme, and this mevalonic acid converted into cholesterol, that is the biosynthesis of the cholesterol in the liver. But if you take the HMG coenzyme A reductase inhibitors, the conversion of the HMG coenzyme A cannot be produced the mevalonic acid due to the inhibition of the HMG coenzyme A reductase. That's why the production of the cholesterol reduce. Inhibiting the enzyme of the HMG coenzyme A reductase, which is the rate of limiting the step of cholesterol synthesis in the liver cell. Now come to the point, the second class of drug, that is the bile acid near nicotinic acid. This is the nicotinic acid, mainly the adipose tissue. The triglyceride convert to the fatty acid with help of the hormone sensitive lipase enzyme. This fatty acid come to the liver, and this fatty acid further converted to the triglyceride, and this triglyceride are converted to the VLDL, that is the very dangerous for us. So nicotinic acid mainly block the hormone sensitive lipase enzyme, which is conversion of triglyceride to the fatty acid in the adipose tissue. So no further step will be occurred due to the blocking of the hormone sensitive lipase enzyme. So VLDL cannot be produced automatically, that decrease the level of cholesterol in our body. Now come to the point, the fibrates. PPAR alpha is found in the metabolically active tissue such as liver and adipose tissue. Binding of the fibrates of the PPAR alpha induce activation of the inhibition of the certain protein involved in the lipid metabolism, which is ultimately decrease in the production of the VLDL and LDL. The drugs belong in the class, and it is helped to reduce our cholesterol level in the blood. Bile acid subsequent, it is known as the bile acid reabsorption inhibitor বা preventioner, because in our bile acid are made from the cholesterol. Liver produce bile acid and store into the gallbladder, and they excrete into the gut when they are facilitate digestion of absorption of the lipid. Now the bile acid subsequently basically bind the bile acid and salt in the small intestine for the formation of this insoluble complex to prevent the reabsorption of the bile acid and thus lead to their excretion automatically. Such as since the bile acid are made from the cholesterol, liver cell increase their number of LDL receptor to bring is more LDL cholesterol in order to meet this new demand. So the end result, decrease of level of circulation of LDL in the liver cell. Now come to the point, is the cholesterol absorption inhibitor. Free cholesterol that comes either from the bile or the dietary sources from bind to the protein adhesive NPC1L1, which is located in the plasma membrane of the cell known as the enterocytes, that line of the intestinal wall. This is the picture, and this is the one protein which is located in the cell wall of the intestinal plasma membrane, that is called the NPC1L1, and the free cholesterol are moving in the interstitial site. The binding then trigger the endocytosis, which is utilizing the protein complex called clarithin AP2 that work on the cell membrane to internalize the cholesterol cargo. Upon the endocytosis, the cholesterol is released, and the NPC1L1 return back to the plasma membrane. These are the picture where the cholesterol bind to the protein, and the clarithin is the help to enter the endocytosis, mean the enter the cell, and it will be dissociated with the protein. The cholesterol come to the cell membrane, and this NPC1L1 again come to the intestinal cell membrane, that is the plasma cell membrane. So currently this drug is highly used in the antihyperlipidemic drug. So these are the 5 class of the drug which is mainly used as a antihyperlipidemic drug. Thank you.